I think this guy has been working so hard over the last few weeks to really make his team the dominant force that we know it to be. And I think many plays, not only in this game, but also in previous games, but of course in this game in particular, were enabled by Stukov, right? It's a little bit of an exotic pick these days because all the glory really falls into the hands of Whitemane, Decker, Kane, and soon probably Tyrande as well if nothing happens because she's looking mighty good on the live patch. But yeah, Stukov really, being put in the shadows there a little bit, only lurking up every now and then. But if he's making those plays, then he's looking mighty good, especially if combined with other crowd control abilities and heroes.
And so, we're going to start off with the Genji ban once again. And there's Maya. If we're sticking very standard, we should see probably Diablo in these ban phases. This is all fairly normal. As a reminder, everyone, Mephisto is not allowed. It has not been 2 weeks, so we haven't seen it since then. Sorry, we won't see it at least until next week, so it should be that in the playoffs. Otherwise, Tyrande technically has been reworked and is allowed.
Yep.
So that is a potential viable option.
Oh, Tyrande, if nothing major happens to her current state, excuse me, then I think she's going to be top tier material. I've been playing a lot of Hero League as of late, and a lot of the top tier support players in Europe, Grand Paquette, for example, one of the examples, I see him play with Tyrande a lot, actually, and they seem to be thoroughly enjoying it. Even a variety of builds I've seen as well, with a more auto-attack focused build, for example. The other option is to go for a burst down build. Actually, a couple of Lunar Flare talents fall into that category as well. So there's a variety of ways you can actually play her right now, and I think pro players will be very eager to adapt and unleash Tyrande, because it's been a while, Tetra, since she has been a stable part, of the meta, right?
Yeah, I think so. She used to be always with like ETC and Diablo with the standard ones. Yeah. Muradin as well, and then of course Stitches was the classic.
Oh man, those were good times.
But those are still potential options, especially with assassins like Reyna are still around these days. I think that kind of style could certainly make a return.
And all of a sudden, if Tyrande is back in the meta, even as a solo support, which she's very capable of doing right now, she might even empower and enable other heroes, as you said, with a more burst-heavy, burst meta style. I'm just thinking of Varian here, by the way. Taunting someone and then following it up with the Hunter's Mark and the Lunar Flare is something I've seen in the Hero League as well, doing very, very well. So yeah, let's look forward to Tyrande and the impact that she's going to be having soon on the meta.
If we do see her, of course. So far, the potential is there. With Stukov being banned away, perhaps CE will be the first HGC China team to sneak that in here. But we will have to find out shortly. As for now, we're going to be seeing the Phoenix and the Deckard already. It didn't work out so well last game, but the potential is still there. It's still one of the most classic combos. So there's no real reason to not pick that setup if you are confident and proficient in it. And they bring in a little bit of extra burst damage this time, along with some disruption and some more slows. But interestingly, a very squishy lineup. The role has a little bit of self-sustain, but if you compare that to other solo laners, like the Dahaka, like Yarel, like Leoric, he is still a little bit more at risk of ganks and a little bit more at risk of being blown up in team fights. And here's a good blow-up hero. Here comes the Jada.
All right. For a moment, I thought about Zeratul, maybe. We've seen CE actually play a lot of Zeratul as of late as well, with Alufal being one of the players that can definitely execute it well. However, they rely on Jaina as well, as you said. Jaina, if she finds one of those heroes in a one-on-one situation, I think she can blow up almost everybody. Of course, she combos extremely well with Raynor. Can't forget about the permanent slows and the permanent bonus damage enabled from that ace in the hole with Raynor, excuse me. We might even see a Hyperion here with several people getting slowed at the same time. That bonus damage will apply.
Quite possibly. That could be really effective. Yeah, I think the Hyperion could certainly be clutch, but the single target damage could also work out really well. So both are definitely viable. So being able to play around that could be pretty good. You could either ban Reyna's Raider to blow up the engaged target, which once again, with only Johanna as the frontliner, it's pretty easy to die fast. Like Johanna is like, I don't like this draft from TeamNut.
No.
Let me open up with that due to the fact that they have a very squishy backline that would benefit from peeling with no peel. They have disengage, with Johanna slows, the Decade Cane slows and roots. But in terms of preventing someone from diving initially and saving the person, it's all down to the shield potions of Decade, and if the rolls the target, his own self-sustain. Yeah, otherwise, the lockdown comp of CE should be able to blow people up.
Yeah, I fully agree with you, Tetra, because I think Johanna is in a weird spot right now. She's the only frontliner. As you said, Thrall cannot really be considered a true frontliner these days. He's a very pokey playstyle as well. So not only will they not be able to keep everybody safe, most likely, but also they will have very little lockdown potential, you know, with Johanna only having Blessed Shield at level 10. Before that, she's not really bringing a whole lot to the table. But let's see how things are going to unfold here with CE on the left-hand side, Alufal, XDQ, 365, KTY, and Juyu.
And on the right, Mercy, Atui, Malthael, Nightmare, and Dia. They are TeamNut, and TeamNut is bringing the lightning. Crash Lightning at level 1 for Thrall.
Yep, I was very happy to see it in Korea as well, because I was really worried that China would be the only region still to stick to this build on a regular basis, you know. But Korea is doing it as well every now and then, only on certain maps, though. That is very important to keep, you know, in the limelight here, guys. It usually doesn't work on maps like Cursed Hollow, where people don't group up early. It's more about rotations there. Dragonshire, Tomb, those are also good examples. But on maps where there's a lot of static skirmishing going on, for example, on BOE or on Volskaya, we're going to have plenty of chances to actually stack it up. Hold that thought. We talked about a lack of kill potential here with that Johanna, but she just stuck to Jaina like glue with the Condemn and the slow afterwards.
Nightmare just went ham, melee assassin style, and just absolutely wrecked XDQ there. First blood going over to TeamNut.
Yeah, that is the big challenge of every Jaina player these days. You know, you need to know how and when to keep your distance, because you don't have any self-protection mechanisms until your ice block comes online here. Also, you don't have any steroids or any movement speed enhancements. So if you're caught, you're basically dead for good.
I mean, he does have a kind of movement speed enhancement. His adrenaline, his Inspire does actually give a little bit of movement speed, but not much until you take the later talents at level 13, I believe.
All right, yep. So let's see what CE will be able to do there. They were able to sneak in that healing camp. Very important. Looks like TeamNut either didn't know or they were deliberately just ignoring it, realizing that they would rather go for their own turret. They would rather keep the experience flowing right now. But you can never leave this just unguarded, you know, because even just having 1 or 2 heroes near the healing mercenary camp can oftentimes stall and prevent the enemies from actually obtaining it. So a little bit of a mistake there early on, positioning-wise and map awareness-wise by TeamNut. Hopefully it's not going to bite them too much.
365 picks up the turret for his team, so the fortification will be available for the first objective, which once again starts at A. It always starts in the rotation of mid, top, bot. So you are always able to predict and set up in advance. As such, it's always good to try and time these top mercenary camps, because if you can get them pushing while the objective is up, it's a pretty long way to run to come up and clear them. So if your timing is better than your opponents, or your wave clear is better than your opponents, and you're able to clear out their merc camp quick enough to get back in time for the objective, then you can really start making plays onto the objective while your opponent is busy. And if not, then you just delay the objective, let that merc camp push.
And just like the siege giants on other maps, these siege mechs, siege robots, whatever you want to call them, they actually outrange structures as well. So they're such a thorn in the side sometimes, you know, if you're not able to actually keep them in check. As such, heroes who do have knockbacks, for example, sometimes can be very useful. In the case of TeamNut here or CE, I don't think there's many that could provide it. Irel maybe does have a knockback. Later on at level 10, Li Ming will have Wave of Force. But yeah, sometimes you want to use those abilities to actually knock them into tower range so you don't have to worry about them.
And so, with middle objective currently being channeled, CE in full control. It's just very chill. Looks like TeamNut don't seem that bothered. They're just going to let Malthael do exactly what we said and try and clear out the mercenaries of CE so their mercs will gain more value. Problem with that is because TeamNut weren't pressuring the objective at the same time, Jaina felt very confident moving up the top lane, and now she's actually going to be able to clean out the TeamNut mercenary camp in about the same amount of time, or at least weaken it a fair amount. So this means that her team had a lot more freedom and that her top lane will be a lot safer, purely because TeamNut didn't show aggression.
Yeah, it's really weird to see how TeamNut plays here right now. First of all, they didn't really engage into combat. They didn't really try to prevent CE from taking the control over the platform. Now, both teams are using their turrets, but they also don't really seem to be ignoring it either, because if they were afraid of the healing pulse, they should have just ignored it and pushed elsewhere, you know, to get an early edge here as well. Double stun into double slow. KTY is just wrecking things on Irel here.
The anti-heal comes in from that Emerald, but it's not enough to shut down KTY, who just goes absolutely aggressive with that Avenging Wrath. Anub and Mouth get in the Protector. Jaina goes up to finish the jobs he started with the Merc Camp, which did get a little bit of damage done. She was not able to clear it up in time, and CE take the first Protector.
That just looked a little too easy almost here for CE. Once again, I'm a little confused and also worried for TeamNut here. By the way they play, they look without concept. They look without ideas here up to this point. First of all, if you are not keen on fighting over this platform because your opponents have the healing pulse, for example, because they have a pretty established position already, then just try to push somewhere else. You know, take mercenary camps, force the enemy team off the platform, force them to react. But don't just, you know, show up there, stall a little bit, poke a little bit, and then end up dying because you were actually baited into an unfavorable fight after all. Malthael, by the way, that does not work too well here. Got to be careful with those aggressive teleports onto the Protector.
Yeah, I also like the level 4 for Johanna, or at least how it's being used, that extra move speed. She's been able to escape a gank at least twice now due to that extra move speed, so I really do enjoy that level 4 talent coming in for Nightmare.
Yep. Fortunately, even the best of talents can give you experience, and that's what TeamNut needs the most right now. They're an entire level behind. Level 10 is now going to hit as well. I wonder if we're going to see a Water Elemental or a Ring of Frost here coming in from Jaina. It is the Water Elemental. It's being used immediately.
Nubrak diving maybe a little bit too deep. Here's DF from the other side.
Cocoon is there, though.
Feral Spirit? No, yeah, they're sacrificing a Tui. They don't even try to defend him. But unfortunately, this also means they sacrifice the Fortification Camp as well.
Yeah, it's just not really going well for TeamNut right now. They always end up getting caught somewhere. And, you know, with a playstyle like CE, the Anubrak once again just proves to be my personal MVP. Like, no other warrior, I shouldn't say no, but very few other warriors are actually going to allow you to catch people off position as well as Anubrak does. Not just with the Cocoon, but also with his multiple stuns. It's just really good to see Zhuyi always finding the time. Yeah, see, Thrall? Oh, if Zhuyi had actually committed, I think they probably could have caught him.
Yeah, but they let him back up. Very risky, because not only did they let him back up, they let him get a stack for absolutely nothing. So even more value than usual, gained by Thrall. He gained Fission and extra damage in the late game. As level 10 is finally hit for TeamNut, we have Blessed Shield, we have Lornado, Sundering, Disintegrate, and here is the Purification Salvo.
Yep, I'm glad they actually picked Disintegrate. Last week we saw Li Ming going for Wave of Force against Anubrak. It probably might have been against CE as well, and it did not go well. Oftentimes we were wondering how these Cocoons could last that long, and only at the end of the game we were like, hey, we don't even have Disintegrate there. No wonder we see the team fights go the way they did. Now, Fingers of Frost already completed for Jaina. That means bonus damage for her. XTQ is going to be very happy about that. And oh, they didn't even go Earthquake here, by the way. They prefer these stun interrupts here and the potential formation breaking that a Sundering allows. So they miss out on the potential synergy here between Earthquake and Purification Salvo. Let's see if the damage is actually going to be there now for Phoenix.
Let's see, indeed. They still have slows from Deckard, they still have slows from Johanna, they still have slows from Phoenix. So they still have potential. They might lose one of those slows, though, if Johanna's not able to escape. But once again, using that speed boost. Good dodge by Dia, but can he keep this up? Water Elemental comes in. Blessed Shield immediately cleansed down with the Sundering for the counter. But XDQ is able to back up. Everyone's grouped up as a huge kill from Alooful comes in. He shreds the team, but he can't chase into the keep. Except maybe he can. Rainer's Raider tanking the shots. But it looks like he's just going to sacrifice the Banshee.
Yeah, Alooful spraying his way to victory there with that Rainer. Once you basically make sure that he's uncontested because all the efforts and all the focus was put on Jaina earlier, he is going to take you down. And with all the damage being taken and that level 13 not being online yet for TeamNut, they're going to take that middle fort here, CE that is. Great save here, by the way, once again by 365. To everyone who says supports can't carry, look at this game, look at this player here right now. He has been proving those people wrong several times. Good Nature's cleanses here, good lockdowns early on Stukov. He is paving the way for his team to get those kills.
G trying another one of those trademark aggressive plays, unable to do so this time, gets shut down. Nice attempt by TeamNut here, trying to make plays elsewhere on the map. They can't they can't fight normally, so they might as well just try and gain value elsewhere. They're going to clear out the Merc camp, try to put some pressure onto KTY, but he's just too mobile in this case. In fact, he's actually going to be able to slow down their assault here. In the meantime, though, this is all a delay tactic, because Malfurion is getting the second protector.
That is correct, and as time goes on, as the scaling continues, we're going to have a more and more powerful protector here. Mercy actually trying to bait KTY into pursuing him. It looks like Irel had to use the Ardent Defender, as you said, to keep herself alive for now. But look at what's going down to the top lane. It was all a distraction maneuver. 2 assassins are missing from defending this protector without Phoenix and Li Ming. How are they going to shred this? Look at this. It's almost all at 100%, and this is going to be a keep just like that.
That is an easy keep being taken here. Yarel's not even here. She's split pushing mid lane. What is happening? And that is an 84% health protector as they back up. Also, a little bit of respect being shown there with the Row 20 banner coming in from CE as they begin to continue to push in.
Yeah, their onslaught continues for now. Look at that protector. He is a big boy. He doesn't take much damage from all that puny poke, and as long as there are minions nearby, actually, a lot of the damage from Malthael on that Li Ming is being intercepted and keeps, you know, extra health on that protector for now. Lufel needs to use the adrenaline shot here, needs to also keep his distance. Look how far away he stays, because he realizes one lockdown by that Sundering and he may end up falling.
The disabling hand does not land. I really wish I knew the name of that ability. I should ask about that.
Which one?
The Protector's disabling hand, Emerald Cube, is dropped. Juyu is able to escape. KTY might be in trouble, might not be able to escape. In fact, they turn around and re-engage onto Mercy, who is just decimated.
All right, the healing pulse is keeping everybody safe for now. Nubrek doesn't even have to go back. There goes another kill into Thrall.
Healing Pulse and Tranquility dropped for that, but this is still going to result in a keep thanks to that double kill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want to learn the name of all the Protector's abilities because I don't know them off by heart.
That's a good point, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I could see them if I just hovered the ability on the actual Protector, but I keep forgetting to do that. As we see Juyu finish off the fountain as well. That is 2 keeps down at 11.5 minutes. Looking pretty good there, CE.
Do you still remember the abilities names of the Garden Terror?
Spore Queen's Curse.
Yeah. That's the polymorph.
And then no.
And the other one was, I think, the Overgrowth.
And what about the Speed Boost?
Oh, the Speed Boost? I think it's actually just called Speed Boost. Does it have a special name?
Huh. It probably does. It's an ability.
Huh. That's a good point. I totally forgot about the Speed Boost, man. Shoutouts to the Garden Terror, by the way. It's been a while since we've seen our old friend.
Thank you, heroesatthestorm.gamepedia.com. Charge, Rocket Fist, Shield Emitter, the gunner abilities, Particle Cannon, Gatling Gun, and Scorching Laser.
Scorching Laser. All right.
Yeah, the disabling thing is called Rocket Fist, which is a brilliant name.
A very fitting one.
Yeah, although it's not actually a fist, it grabs. It does not punch.
Actually, Rocket Grab would be a great name as well.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of great things, the root does land, but Zhu's still able to push forward thanks to the Nature's Cleanse. A nice root, but a double slows from KTY. Sundering for the disengage, though. And TeamNut, they can back this up if they had it recommitted. It's a double kill by Jaina.
The cocoon is real. Are they going to follow it up on it? Oh, they do!
Beautiful. The roots, the stuns, everything is perfect. They just skip the towers, skip the keep, using the turret to blast through it. They drop the healing pulse for no purpose. They were at full health as they are going to try and end the game.
Well, it's certainly keeping Mercy distracted here, so drops a well down healing pulse. But even without it, I think there was no question that this was a gone core here. Look at Mercy, though. Gets popped immediately by Jaina and Raynor. The Jainer, if you will. The core says goodbye as well. Game 2 falls into the hands of CE. And this was probably one of the most one-sided, one of the most dominant performances by Team CE. They continue the upward trend and